All right, good morning. Excuse me. Sorry, I'm a few moments there. I'm just a little bit late, and I apologize. Welcome, welcome, welcome. There's gonna be a little bit of noise, and for that, it just is what it is. I'm Dark Pool Algo, and thanks for joining me on another Wu-Tang Wednesday morning watch this building session. That's what it is. Um, it's been a crazy couple days. Been a pretty decent couple days. I got a lot of personal stuff going on, so I'm a little scatterbrained right now. Apologize about that. But overall, as far as the market's concerned, I think it's doing its thing. It may be setting up for reversal. Again, it also may just be continuation of the chop that we've seen. Let me get rid of this and get my face up here. Boom shakalaka. I love that transition. God, that's gorgeous. All right, welcome. Hey, so hope everybody's doing well. The news is gonna be a little bit different today. I don't have an overview. My news source is being weird. And speaking of news source, ooh. So as a trading group, right? The Dark Pool Charts trading group, which is going to be going through some changes here soon. Price action. I can't. Just stay tuned. We're going to be a little bit more all inclusive. We're working on some things. We're always working on stuff, huh? We've always got something in the works. It is true. Yes, it is. So we're working on that. Here's my big news. Ready? This is what some of my big news. Check this out. I started this week. This is a high performance. The product is an in-depth 8-week, high intensive, deep, high performance psychology coaching for traders. What it does is this 8-week course is a mix of coursework and group meetings, as well as individual one-on-one individual one-on-one coaching sessions with a high-performance psychologist and sports psychologist, high-performance psychologist, specializing in working with traders. Now, sports psychology, trading psychology is a huge piece of the game, and it's one of the most underrated, under-talked about facets of trading, and it's one of my very personal interests. I've started on this. I can tell you right now that it's already different. Yes, I'll get Foot Locker. Right now, it is completely different than the BS that you're hearing out there, right? So if you're in any of these discords, any of these other groups, and you're talking about, oh, I'm in this position. As soon as I got in, I started getting really sketched out and nervous and kind of panicking. And the canned response that you'll get 99% of the time is, adjust your position size, go smaller, put on less risk. No. I mean that's not helping why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling. What is it like? I can't just forever be stuck at a small position size. I want to grow, right? So every time I get a little extra risk on, I don't want to be like, oh, I need to take risk off, or go smaller, because then I'll never grow. I'll just be flat, right? So obviously there's something in my past, right, that I've got to work through, so that when I get into those positions, right, because my risk is always going to be the same. My strategy is always going to be the same, right? My trading is always going to be the same. I want to put on more risk. I have to be able to internally deal with it. So yeah, there's a big difference between that canned response and what we're going into with this group now. Just kind of digging deep into why, for me, I get sketched out when anyway. So the super great course. If trading psychology is something you're interested in, reach out to me. I've got a discount. I'll get you guys 10% off. Okay. That was just a real quick plug on it. I like you all to know what I'm doing and what I'm going through. I haven't really traded this week because one of my rules is if I make a major change in my trading strategy or my trading process, I usually step back a little bit, because I can easily blow up my account. Plus, I haven't been super duper impressed with anything this week. Okay, good morning, everyone. Morning, Terry. Rafat. I'm gonna blow up your name, dude. Sorry about that. Can I just call you Raf? Andrea, Johnny, you got some competition these days, brother. All right, so we're gonna jump right into it. I'm really upset that I don't have like an overview, because I know that there was a lot that came out last night, especially in regards to the State of the Union, right? I'm being super political with this. The State of the Union address, which I didn't watch, but I did see the comments coming through on Twitter. I think he tried to pick on Elon Musk, and Elon Musk was like, drop the mic on him, something like that. Yeah. Also, in other news, we have an opportunity. We're working with a couple of news sources to get you all quicker, faster, better news. Yes, it's true. That's something I'm working on. Okay. Again, we're trying to provide you with all of the tools, well-rounded tools that y'all need to be able to be as successful as you want. Okay. All right. So let me see if I can. Yeah, they changed the password. Dang it. That's so sad. Oh, man. I guess I could ask for it. I like this news source. Let me see if I can get a whoop whoop. Can I get it? Hey, hey. Okay, 1 second here. One of my news sources, they changed the password on it. See if I can get it back. Can I have login to Benzinga Pro, please? I like to do prep and check news there. I will not share it with anyone. All right, trying to get some trying to get into some Benzinga news. All right, let's get into it, shall we? We have a lot to cover. Dwack, dude. I think it was right about here, 1450, which would be so wait a minute, that's not right. I got the market closing at 1400, somewhere in here. There was some comments made during the speech that kind of really boosted this. This is looking good. Okay, this is a great example of the slingshot squeeze that I'm talking about. So starting from the bottom, and now we hear double green, right? This is a EMA 821.34 for the market and for the individual stock on different time frames. We got Iridium Fire getting ready to fire off a mid thrust buy, which is kind of like this symbol here, right? We've got squeezes that have fired off. We've got descending neutral histograms, right? I don't have a MACD up on this one, but look at this 4-hour chart. This is a perfect example of that slingshot squeeze I'm talking about. So medium to high compression squeezes for the last couple of weeks, right? On the last couple of days, that finally, when they cross over and the medium compression ones release, stack positive moving averages, right? We're going to get another, let's just say another 24 hours. So another 6 4-hour sessions of this squeeze releasing, stack positive moving averages right through the 4-hour top. I'm looking at daily top 100 as target. Above 100, there's a quick jump up to about 105, 104.43. If we get back into there, we grind it up to 116.50. I mean, who would have thunk? For real though. It's bullish. Okay. That's all I have to say about that. And let's just get into it. I know everybody wants to know about the AMC earnings. I am going to get into those as well. So Salesforce, which is CRM, had earnings yesterday. EPS at 84 versus 75, so an additional 9 cents per share. Q4 revenues rose 26%. Pretty decent. Said raising forward-looking 23 revenue guidance to $32 billion. at the high end of the range with non-GAAP operating margin of 20% and operating cash flow growth of 22% year over year. They're guiding their forward-year Q1 revenues at $7.3 billion. 7.3 billion. Sorry, I'm getting my futures chart set up here again. It's just kind of a pain in the butt every once in a while. Sorry, I should have done this earlier. Come on. Come on, give me the futures. Give me them. Give me that futures. All right, and NQ can go down here. One day, soon, I'll have a system I can share all my charts with you. Okay, pretty decent, right? Up and down, kind of a little bit mixed, but that forward-looking revenue guidance, super consolidation happening here. If we trade 4-hour top to daily top, weekly bottom cloud top, right? So the move to 217, 224, right? $7 move. I think we could deal with that today. Maybe a little bit of profit taking if this 4-hour cloud holds. 214 if the weekly cloud bottom holds at 215. Those are your support areas. Below the 4-hour, we back test the 4-hour mid. Okay, I think we're pretty good with CRM today. All right, AMC earnings. Here we go. Let's go. AMC earnings EPS loss at -11 cents versus -26 cents. Q4 revenues rose 1.17 billion versus an estimated 109. Net loss for Q4 improved to 134 million, including non-cash impairment charge related to long-lived assets of 77 million. Currently has liquidity available of more than 1.8 billion, including cash and undrawn revolver lines. Yes, if you study fundamentals, you would see that that's not as bad as it's been. Regardless, super chopper fragilistic XP chopness. Well, we kiss the daily 4-hour mid, looking to break out of the weekly bottom cloud, right, which is right here. Use that as support. It's held up quite a bit. So the move would be up to the 4-hour top, 19 through the 19 to 1970, and maybe back up to 20. Do we do the massive ape rally today? I don't know, honestly. If you give me a few, and I'll come back to it. Let me get this other broker pulled up that gives me short interest on it, and I'll look and see what the short interest is for AMC. Okay. All right, moving on. Nothing in healthcare. All right, in healthcare, Abbott Laboratories recalled some Similac cans and cases produced at a Michigan facility after an infant was exposed to the powdered formula died, the FDA said on Monday. Abbott recalled its 3 different baby formulas a few days earlier. Yeah, that's not good. When you start killing babies, your stock's going to plummet. Okay, forming the H, we give up this daily bottom at 117. Move down to 116. Below 116, we have to look at the downward trend line. I think we go sub 110. That's on Abbott. Genomics, BNGO, right? Bingo. Q4 revenues 6.3 million versus 5.6. Guides forward-looking revenues at 24 to 27 million versus 28 estimated. Mixed earnings. There's other things to trade that aren't so choppy right now. Okay. Gilead. Gilead Sciences said it received a complete response letter from the FDA regarding its application for an experimental HIV drug, a long-acting capsid inhibitor for people with multi-drug resistance HIV. The FDA raised questions about the use of a specific type of vial and whether it's comparable with a drug solution. I mean, there's an opportunity here as soon as we get a reversal. Massive amount of squeeze is happening here. When it pops, right, it's fighting the pop downwards, right? If it can get stacked positive again, right? So basically back in the 4-hour top, so above 62, then we can start getting Woody back up to about 65, 68 on Gilead, okay? All right, ZipRecruiter. Q4 EPS at 16 cents versus 12 cents. Revenues 220 million versus 207. Authorized 100 million share repurchase program and sees Q1 revenue at about 12 million more than it expected. Forward-looking revenue at almost 900 million versus 850. That's a big move, right? Still, right? Again, we broke the 200 or we broke the 50. So if we can go 2150 support, move to 2225, sorry, 2125, sorry, 2125, 2225 into the cloud at 2250, up to 23. Above 23, we get kind of woody to 2450, and then retest previous highs at 26 on our way to the weekly top. This is kind of a wrong, right? I think that there's better plays out there. SoFi, boom, baby, boom. Remember I told you about SoFi. Don't sleep on SoFi. Yeah. They had good earnings. Again, I want to see the reaction to these earnings and if it can get above daily cloud. So 1350 is going to be, or 1375 is my point. 1375 moved to 1550, then 1671. Those are big moves, right? This is one of those stocks that I'm looking at getting long-term investments. If I'd been smart, and I just totally forgot about it, to be honest with you, what I should have done back here is bought one share, just so that it reminds me of what I need to be doing, because I could have easily got in at 8. I don't think we're going to see 8 again. I don't think we're going to see 10 again on this. To be honest with you, 11 may be the lowest we'll ever get again on this stock. I think it's done. I think it's bottomed. I think we just melt up from here. Okay. On pullbacks, we have a room 1250, 1180, that $11 range. So any dips to the sub 12, I'm gonna gobble up. I'm gonna buy a bunch. Okay. Southwest Gas said it plans to spin off construction business. A billionaire investor Carl Icahn has pushed to the utility to sell. Plug Power, whoop-de-whoop. Oh, I still hate Plug Power. Oh, sub 20, huh? Wow, crazy. Down to 1750. This would have been my original entry last year, and I missed it by 15 cents, and it's went to like obscene amount of dollars per share. Regardless, it came back down. It kissed its 5200, went back up, created a nice little range, 2240, 2650. It's been flat, pretty much consolidating right at the 4-hour and daily cloud tops. Now, long above 2575 for a move to 29, possibly 30. 29 is the 200 SMA. I think it's going to move. I think it's going to get a pretty nice move off of it. If it breaks below 2475, we've got additional support at 2390. Below that, we have to come all the way back down to 2290 and maybe chop around a little bit more. Okay, so I was looking at AMC. Is that what it was? AMC. All right, here's AMC for everybody who's interested. And I want to look at, where's my short interest? All right. AMC daily short volume coming into yesterday. Short volume at 5.9 million, NASDAQ short volume at 1.74 million, total short volume 7.68 million, 17.5% short sell ratio on trading volume at about 44 million. Okay, so they are shorting this. Okay, this is our short interest over time, our closing price versus short interest. We like to play divergence. What happens with divergences? They must trade out. No, this is not the flow index. This is not, sorry, don't even, yeah, I shouldn't even put those two in a sentence together. But, if we have divergence at 37, it's more than likely going to play out at some point, right? So, 35, 36, 37. The last was short interest at 20% with 1.8, an average of 1.8 days to cover. Looking at this sucker here, we have 17.5, which is lower short interest than it has been in a while. Short interest is increasing, as you can see, back from the 15th or 23rd, all-time lows at in 9%. So shorts covered going into earnings. Short interest is rising, so they're trying to push the stock down. Okay, what do I think AMC is going to do? Looking at it from one day let's do 1 day 30-minute perspective. I mean, this is pretty nasty little broadening pattern. 200 is definitely providing support. We finally got a 50 cross up. I like the move to, I mean, above 1950, I think it gets kind of woody. Right? So short interest is at 35, right? So at 35, they start selling it, right? They start shorting it. And they start covering it. Wow, is it 51%? Oh no, $51. All right. They're making a lot of money on this. Ooh, that's gnarly information there, y'all. Gnarly information. This is great info. Overall trend, downtrending, right? The close. This is good data. Good data. Short support rate at 4.19%. Remaining short pool, 250,000 shares. That's important. This is important. Hold on. I need to share this. Share this with the group. All right. Okay, so what they're saying is that there's only 250,000 shares left to short. Look at the volume it had. Where did it go? Look at the volume it had coming into. Wow. So yesterday's daily short volume was 7.68 million shares, and it's only got 200. So it's a low floating short. Like, look for squeeze. Look for some gamma squeezes to take place on this. Okay, that's what I guess that's what I'm trying to tell y'all. And kind of a long about way of doing it. So AMC, I'm gonna keep an eye on it for that gamma squeeze, especially if we get a ripper today in the market. All right. Importante news. I've been watching Queen of the South, kind of binging it, and I swear I've been speaking more Spanglish in the last day than ever. Okay. Well, I did go on a little tangent there. ExxonMobil and FSLR. Oopsie. ExxonMobil, right, had earnings, or ExxonMobil said it will exit Russia oil and gas operations, that it is valued at more than $4 billion, and halt new investment as a result of its invasion of Ukraine. The market likes that news. Big old bull flag forming. If it, a little doji, 4-hour doji. This is what happens when a squeeze releases. Pop, 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 pop. See how it keeps popping it higher? Pop, 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 pop. Now, look, above 81, quick move to 80 to 50. Okay. First Solar, FSLR. I love this stock. Love trading that stock. But look at that. That's horrible. Shares down 15%. Below the 50, below the 200. Barely hanging on. Barely hanging on. Okay. Rally up. Big pullback. Trendline support at the 4-hour daily bottom. Next move. 4-hour mid, 69.65. Daily mid, 71.02. And then smacking into the weekly cloud at 71.63. We can get back in there, then 4-hour tops coming in at 74. Contrarian, right? We get a whoop-wee all the way down here. Let me show you what that looks like. If they decide that they want to sell this, this is a big old nasty setup. Okay. Big old nasty setup. So we can either go wrap, up or down. Okay. Shares are down 15% on EPS at 123 versus 106. Revenues 900 million versus they missed by about 17 million. They said EPS flat up to 60 cents versus the estimated 1.94. Year ending 2022 and net cash balance is projected to be in the range of 1.1 to 1.35 billion. And see the Caesar 2022 capex at 850 million versus 800. Is it a dead cat bounce? Is it a big old cup and handle? Bull flag breakout? All the keywords, hot topics. Keep an eye on it. It's fun to trade, that's for sure. All right, and I know that your boy mentioned this company last night. Right, it seemed to really like the mention. I don't know what it was in reference to, but I know that if we get through the 4-hour top, so above 48.50, use it as support. You got to move to 51 or 50.50. So $2 move on Intel. Options are great, super liquid. This is a fun one to trade. All right, so Grow Generation, GRWG was one of my favorite ones. Oh, GRWG. I always thought about buying some of these for the long term. These was trading at 30 or 40. Glad I didn't. I was going to try to get at 25. I had no idea it was going to come down to sub $10. Sometimes I get lucky. EPS loss at 3 cents versus 9 cents. Revenues at 90 million versus 89. Sees 22 revenue at 415 to 445 million versus 478. Adjusted 22 EBITDA in the range of 30 to 35 million. Same store sales at 26 locations decreased 12.3% in Q4. Yeah. I don't know what to do about this one. I want to look at it next week. Is there a way for me to set an alert based on time? Can I create an alert? Value, volume. No. That sucks. There's no way to put a time alert on there, so I think I might have to do something like this. Right. So we'll get into next week. What's the beginning of next week? The 7th, right? All right, so it looks like, there we go. All right, so I've got an alert set to come back and check the stock. Might look at getting some for the long term. Okay, I need to find a good alternative medicine stock. Playboy had earnings. EPS at $1.33 loss versus 49-cent loss. I don't get this, right? They had people don't. I think they. I don't. This doesn't make sense to me. So they had about $1 more loss per share, right? Revenues at 247 versus 235. Says loss largely driven by stock-based comp and non-cash charges. I don't. Why is it doing that? Maybe it was a good value, 14.50 to 16.40. That's a $2 per share increase. I don't get it. like bad earnings. I guess this is what happens when a squeeze releases. 1650 to 1750, 1775. On the downside, 1550, 1575, and potential trendline support. Maybe. Look for the trendline support weekly bottom at 15. Okay. Nordstrom. So, Nordstrom up 30%. Yo, from 19 to 25 or 20, 27.50. That's a big move. All right. Look for a pullback to 24, 23.96 or 24 for support, and then catch the bounce up to the monthly mid at 26, and then possibly 28.50 if it's a peg stock, which is post earnings gapper, right? Gaps up, gaps and goes. Definitely be some profit taking for sure. Okay. I don't even know why. They just had good earnings, right? Okay. The Canadian dollar rises as oil prices jump, and Bank of Canada is expected to start raising interest rates in a policy decision later this morning. USD CAD falls 0.2%. Yeah, I'm just, you know what? Maybe I can do this. Does this show me? Sorry, my news source usually has like a global. Ooh, this is news. Good news. I like how they did this. Oh, Abivai? Ooh, there's some Abivai news. If you don't know what Abivai is, Abivai makes Botox. This stock is not going anywhere anytime soon. This would have been a great buy opportunity at 130 back in the end of January. See higher highs and higher lows across the board. Big old cup and handle. They came out and looks like they so Harpoon wins FDA's fast track designation for its multiple myeloma therapy, and it is in an expanded partnership with Abivai. Abivai can exercise the option to license its drug after phase 1-2 clinical trial, right? And this was HARP, HARP. Right? There's a penny stock for you to trade that's going to make a nice move today. Yeah, it's going to, if you want to trade a penny stock, there you go. So they have positive news, all right? They're getting fast tracked. Okay. Huh, that's pretty decent. We have Asian markets. So aluminum farming, coal, oil are all up in Asian markets. Silver, LiDAR, coal are all up in the US markets. Aluminum is up 4%. Shoosh, it's a big move. Gold is up 4.2%. And silver is up 10%. Jeez, that's massive. That is really, 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 really big. Okay, let's get into our futures, and we will get going on this relatively quickly. Where we at? Here we go. All right, so what happened yesterday? Let's check it, y'all. Looking at my daily chart. Let's go, shall we? Where are we at now? Well, we hit the 50% retracement on the nose. That's the 50% retracement from this low to this high. We retraced, made a new low, right? So we have a fib here from high. This fib here is from high to low. I'm going to run another fib from this high to this low, right? Looking for any sorts of symmetry that we can find. Well, guess what? We have some. Check it out. So we have symmetry at this 50% retracement, which is the 618, right? Let me show you what this looks like again. Sorry, I got a little too expanded in there. Okay, so this new fib line that I drew right here, you see this? This is a retracement from high to low. And then we've got the original retrace extension, right? So from low to high, well, from the rally, you pull back to support. Well, we broke all of that. We made a new low. So the 50% retracement, right, from this move up is also the 618 retracement from this move down. So very key level here at 4,400, right? We moved up. We chopped the last couple days, right? Yesterday I was considered a very choppy day, right? We wicked up and we kissed the 50% retracement level, 4,400. Could not close above the snow line, so we're not doing snow line to snow line. We actually gapped down, right, to the 382. I thought we might have been forming a bull flag, but I don't know if I can say it's valid now, because look at this. We had great structure. We had really great bull flag structure. We broke that structure, right? We could chop some more. Here's my TV again. I would say below 42.85, we move down to 42.12. Below that, we come all the way down here to 4,100. This is a fire line, right? So this is a downside magnet if we can't break through the snow line, okay? We have not retested the 21-day yet. We have not tested the 50. We have not, or 50. We have not tested the 200. We're getting close though, okay? There was some pretty decent structure into yesterday. We had a 2150 crossover this morning, or yesterday, on the 4-hour chart. Okay, we were above the 50-day on the 4-hour. We're above the 21. We're right at a 50% retracement from this high to this low. We rallied up, 618 retracement, came down, held the 382. Now we get that next move up. If we can't break above 43.42, we have support at 43.06, 42.69, and then down. So I think if we break down below 43.10, right, we've got a little bit of support to the downside. We've got a lot of overhead resistance. This white line is more of a magnet than this purple line, right? This red line is a pretty significant magnet, okay? So we either rally up through and retest 4,400 today, which would be a pretty decent move, riding that trend line up, maintaining the 2150 move. But since they're both red, they're acting as a magnet to the downside, okay? Bringing it down to the 30-minute chart. One thing I really like about Thinkorswim is that I can remove some of these extra ones that aren't as important, like this 382 is not going to be important to anything really. So, well, this 50% is. So the 30-day or 30-minute, we held the 200 SMA. We broke above the 50. We're going to get a 50-21 crossover, so that should bring us back up towards these towards the snow line here. Kind of a weird little cup and handle possibly forming. If we break down below the 50-21, right, break the trend line. So we start breaking some of these lows here. we're going to retest the 200. If we fail this 200 on the 30-minute, ooh, it's going to be real bad. Kind of forming that little seahorse funky pattern that I don't know if I necessarily like or not, but I think that that is typically a cup and handle if I'm not mistaken. Got my reversal chart. Let's see. Not seeing any reversal signals. All right. That is the ES checking out NQ next. How do we do? Is our theory still valid? Well, considering that we almost retested the 21 yesterday, right? We're pulling back. This is very, very choppy here, right? I'd like to see a move above. So this green line here, this tree line is a magnet at 14,436. Above that, we have a snow line magnet. We do have a 50, 200 cross down. Shit. All right, so tech is going to suffer. So let's look at the downside. Let's look at 13,446, 12,857 as a downside move. Potential chopping. Yeah, that cross down did not help us at all. When was the last time the NASDAQ 50-day crossed below the 200? April of 2020. End of April 2020 is the last time it crossed below it. But even then, we had the 21 was pulling us up. When was our last major crisis? Was it 2018? Yeah. Big drop down. So what I'm saying is that tech is really having a hard time with it. Okay. Any short pops, I think. So I'm not going to be bullish on the NASDAQ until we're above 14,455 for a move potentially to 15,000. Okay. Let's bring it down to the 4-hour. What was trendline support is now trendline resistance. 21 we're holding, 50 we're holding, right? This tree line right here is the magnet, right? 14,438, right? I just call it 14,400 or 14,000. Geez, 1444. There's just one and a bunch of fours after it. That's what you need to remember. Okay, down to the 30-minute. Give us some good news. That is an inverted head and shoulders. So give us that long above the neckline, which is kind of where we're at now. Come on, load. Thank you. All right, so we're bullish on the 30. We're going to get a 2150 crossover, right? We got this 200 that we're holding. Inverse head and shoulders. Quick little pop up to the tree line, right? 14,44444, maybe 14,500, just for round numbers. Contrarian, if we break that, we're going to back test this 200-day previous lows. If we break below it, so if we go from skyline to skyline, we look at this snow line down here as our next target. Okay. So skyline to tree line, or skyline failure to skyline to snow line. Okay. Tech is gonna have some issues. Okay. Next up on the list is the Dilly Dally Daily Dow. How is the Dilly Dally Daily Dow doing? Okay. We have an opportunity for a 50-day, 200-day bounce, and the 21-day to curl back up and around. We rallied up to the fire line, closed below the fire line and currently dojing. So this is a trading zone down. I like the Dow better than NQ today. Really depends on what happens in that 5200 cross. Up, gap down, rallied up, sold off. We're having trouble with the 21 and the 50 again, right? So this fire line being a magnet is causing a lot of resistance as well. We have a skyline at 33052 and another one at 32687. Below that, the snowline magnet, previous lows, is definitely a real thing. We can very easily just chop in between skyline, fireline. Above, right? Above 33572, we retest highs at 3400. Potential move up to 34,500, which would be retesting the 200-day on the 4-hour. 30-minute perspective, look how flat that is, right? This is I don't even know. Oh, there it is. So we're getting a 2150 cross up. We're above the 200. If that holds, 33,632, 33,757, 3,400 incoming. If it fails and we break down below the 200, we've got this skyline as a magnet. Okay. All right. Well, good morning to you, puppy. You kept me awake all night. Just all night ruthlessness with it. All right, what do we got going on here on the red-headed Russell? It's continuing to do its job and create our inverse head and shoulders by March 16th. Tree line 2039, 50-day, 382 retracement, and snow line at 2110-ish. Someone just said they had a dream that the Fed started printing money again. All right, up. We cleared the 200, right? Got scared, tried to hold a support, failed, came back down, failed the 21, held the 50-day. So we got a descending to 5,200 moving average. So we are in a descending move, right? If we can get the 21 above the 200, that might pop us up a little bit, enough for this 50 to come up and retest the 200 for either break over or break down. Okay, downtrending stock. Downtrending stock. Small caps. I don't even, this is a weird pattern. Is it a channel? Is it a falling channel? I mean, I guess it's pretty close as you can get. So we're getting a 21,200 cross up after a 5,200 cross down. Typically that's bearish. So as you can see, we started pulling price down with this. Looks like we might get a little bit of recovery if this 200-day holds. If the 21 holds, we get a bounce back up to the top of that range, pull back. We'd have to break the range here soon. We have the tree line is a bigger magnet, so 2038 than this fire line or this skyline support. Up and up again. Interesting what's going to be happening here with the red-headed Russell and the 200-day, right? The last time we hit it, we bounced off of it, right? We rode it all the way up until yesterday, right, to the close yesterday, and failed, came and found that skyline, rally back up through it. So small caps might have a decent move today. However, let's just say if the Russell gets down below 2010, 1990s coming in effect. I think that's why people like trading the Russell, is because it's really easy to remember. All right, looking at gold real quick. Ooh, that's a big sell-off on the ES. All right, it looks like it's going to gap fill pre-market, which is good. Oh, right, that 4 to 5 o'clock gap that it created, it looks like it's trying to backfill it right now, so that we have a decent move on today. All right, looking at gold. Gold was a great move, right? And it looks like it's still trying to become a continuation, right? Everything's stacked positive. We're still uptrending. We're at support right here. Looking at the 4-hour, right? We're still stacked positive. 2150, 200. Pop up, pull back, held at 21. Gonna back test it again, right? As long as we can maintain this uptrend with the 50-21, right, or this purple line here, I think we can go up and make a high. We sold off. We failed to make a higher high. We sold off. It's gonna be interesting to see how this 4-hour chart shapes up. So let's look at the 30. See if it's gonna give us a hint. A little double topper. Um, 50-day gave up support. The 200-day held. Couldn't get back up above it. We're getting a 2150 cross down right now. Looking at the 200 holds to support. 1920 is the key. Below 1920, I don't know. Below 1920, I'm gonna have to reevaluate gold. Okay. Next up is crude. So we started talking about crude back here, right? End of February. Oh, sorry. Let's look at this. I was like, oh, that's a gorgeous looking chart. All right, what happened with crude? Well, it hit its fire line and is above it. So next target on crude is 116.36. Oh, let's see here. Jeez, that's just massive moves, man. Big old nasty, massive moves. So if we were to do some trend line where, ooh. Okay. It's 116. That's a pretty lofty target. It's holding the skyline at 107, below 107. Quick move to 106, down to about 103. Holds the fire line. We move up to the next snow line. Okay. The 30-minute chart. Pop up, pull back, pop up, pull back, pop up, pull back, pop up, pull back. Okay. Jeez, that's just easy peasy lemon squeezy. It's definitely a channel up. Channel up. Whoop de whoop. Y'all see what I did there? I mean, I'd say it's a perfect channel because it is. So next move is going to be up to 113.50 a barrel, and then it's going to come back down. $30-minute Channel up on C. All right. And finally, bonds. Biggity bitty 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 bonds. Come on. All right. ZB bonds. Well, bonds have definitely been making a move. Why? Because I drew that orange line a long time ago. It was supposedly, I don't remember why I drew that line. But what happened? We gapped. We hit resistance. We may chop here for a little bit, right? We could potentially pull back to 15 or 155.13 really easily. We rallied up, hit the 618 retracement, rejected it. So if we can get above 158, there's a next move up to, oh, we just trade this zone back up to here like this. So trade that zone up, trade that zone up. Ooh, sketchy. 157 support. Below that, we have 155.23 as a 382. All right, we rallied up. Possible pullback. Okay. And last but not least, the yen. All right, if you see what the yen's doing. It's respecting this trend line. Double bottom, right? Still downtrending. So as long as the yen is weak, right, and can start making, if it can make a new low, then that's good for, I think it relates pretty closely to tech, but I'm not exactly sure. Okay. I try to find pairs. I can't say pairs. I try to find similarities, right? So if I wanted to trade the bond rally, then I would trade TLT, right? If I wanted to trade gold, I would trade GDX. If I wanted to trade crude, I would trade like Exxon or any of those suckers. What's going on here? Ooh, NQ 2-minute futures broke down below the 200-day. We're retesting it now. So if we can get above 14,052, we can retest previous lows. Watch this move in the ES, see if it can do the same thing. We're currently testing previous lows now on the ES for reversion to the 21. If we fail this, we come back and test the 200. Below the 200, it gets ugly. Okay. All right, that's it for the futures. Just checking in real quick on our bread and butter stocks, just because I know everybody likes to just look at the old 15-minute chart to see kind of how things are chopping up, right? Things are chopping up pretty good. We should just call this a chop chart. I was looking at playing Apple today. 163 seems to be support. 165.50 is overhead resistance. I was looking at the 167.50s, but I don't even think we get above 165.50. If that's the case, then those 167s will be pretty easy to trade. This is a spaghetti nightmare, so this is indecision. We got a 21 above 5,200. We got a 5,200 cross down. Apple's going to be choppy for the next couple of days. AMD. So I'm a little disappointed that this 2150, right? We got a 2150 crossover, which is bullish, right? Skyline to skyline move. AMD bullish above 116.50 for a move to 119, 120. You heard it here first on AMD. Contrarian, we break down below 114.50. Then we really have to look at the next downside move, which is going to be about 111. Googly goog. Googity goog. Super choppy chopness. I have a tree line at 275 or 2735. If we can get above 2690, 2700, 2700, 2750, 2800. Below 2700, 2675, 26.25. Nvidia. Okay. I mean, I saw this move yesterday. I was looking at Nvidia puts all day. Everybody's like, you're crazy. No. All right. So it overtook its 200. Looks like the 21 is trying to recover it. All right. The 50 days curling back up and around. So Nvidia, I would say long above 238 for a move to 239.50, and then we chop to 242. Above 242, got a 246 or 245 ultimate target. We made a low, we made a higher low, we made a high, we made a higher low, we made a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Okay, contrarian. If we crack this tree line at 235.50, we come back down and back test overnight lows 233. Yesterday's lows coming in at 231. Below that, we have a snow line target at 229. Okay, it's kind of right in the middle of two different snow lines, so there's got to be a move. We got a tree line smack dab in the middle. We can just chop on that for a little while. The Tesseract on the 15-minute chart, right, is holding its snow line 2150, 200 stack moving averages. Long on Tesla above 875 for a move to 885, 900. Tesla short below 860 or 859, 857.95 for a move to 850, 843, 830. Okay. If it fails this 200, Tesla's going down, 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 down. SPX, I don't want to look at. QQQ is super choppy. We did, however, have a rising 200 on the 15-minute that we got above when we held it, but this downtrending 50 is pulling us down with it. The 21-day is trying to get up and make a move. Looks like it rejected the 200. If it can get above the 200, that EMA will help keep price up, and that 50 to curl back up and around. Okay, I don't know why not. We're currently trading at a skyline. QQQ below 342, 340. Yesterday's low at 338. Moved down to 336. And then we got a skyline or snow line at 327. This tree line is going to be more of a magnet, so it should try to pull price action up with it. Long above 345. We'll move to 348. 350 psychological, 352. You see that? So off of this skyline to the tree line, as long as we can continue to move upwards. If not, back down to the skyline. We break that. We come back down to this snow line. Amazon it's got some problems, to be honest with you. So this 200 is starting to downtrend again. The 50 is pulling back down with it. The 21, however, is rising. We're right in the middle of between a skyline and a skyline. So it's kind of like a dead man zone. I don't really like trading in between those two, but they can act as a guide, right? So we could go long above 30.50 for Amazon for a move to 31.10. We can go short on Amazon below 30.14. 3,000 psychological level break down to 29.50. All right, that's our bread and butter stocks. Let's get into the FlowTrade. What you're looking at here is FlowTrade. This is a smart money dark pool block trade algorithm software created by the traders over at FlowTrade. They've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars and countless man hours to create the Flow Index algorithm. The Flow Index tracks large institutions, hedge funds, smart money, dark pools, and block trades, creates its own algorithm that is a predictive leading indicator. What it does is it shows what smart money is doing. Smart money can't just drop millions and billions of dollars into a position. As soon as they do, it's going to eat up all of the liquidity in the chain, and other buyers are going to start coming in, realizing there's not very many shares, there's no liquidity left. It may get initial pop, but once those buyers get out, because there's no liquidity is going to drop, and it's going to keep dropping until it finds buyers at a certain level. Usually what happens at that point is smart money is in a position, in a negative downtrending position. They're hemorrhaging money. contrarian, what they like to do is price action's coming down. They like to scale into it. Scale into it as it's coming down so that as price finds a bottom, they're in a solid position. As price starts coming up, they can start selling out of their positions. So we look for those points of divergence. Okay, I will find a good example of divergence. I can use a little micro example of divergence here. Okay, price action is selling off, right? I can't even use that one. That's Upstart. Trading with price action. Well, no, that divergence has got to play out. Chop, 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 chop. Well, you would think there's divergence, but we're kind of chopping back and forth, right? At this level, we have a pullback on flow index. Price is pulling back. As we start gaining again, price action's moving up, right? We're trading with price action. So you can see here, I'm just trading with it. Okay, Upstart ran into some regular dark pool trades at 154.75, 152.78, and 152 on a dot. Looks like this dark pool came in 228 at 13.30. There is a gap, and there's a dark pool magnet at 135.26. It's kind of pulling price down with it. Flow index is making lower lows and lower highs. All right, that was Upstart. So welcome. Let's get into it. Oh, real quick. Purple line is the flow rate, the normal flow index. Blue lines are dark pool block trades. Red lines are regular block trades. Green bars are price action. And if you see a white line on the screen, then it's a good time. All right, so there goes the ES. It's coming back to backfill its gap up. It's gonna be nasty. Let me just show you real quick so y'all can see how it failed. Right, trendline support failure. See this big gap right here? It's going to fill that gap. Doesn't have much further to go. Okay. I thought I'd get better futures data. I don't know where my indicators just went either. All right, so where did I leave off? White lines are fun. Yeah. All right. So what a white line is where a regular and a dark pool level print on top of each other. That is a major inflection point. Draw a line on your screen, set an alert on that line, and just sit back and watch and see what happens as price interacts with that level. Okay. And it's a very specific level where lots of transactions have occurred. Okay. So now what we're looking at here is, let me get out of my way. Okay. Let's get your requests in. Usually the first person that says good morning to me, I will look at their request first. And it was Terry with Tesla. Good morning, Terry. Good morning, Raf. I think I remember you telling me to call you Raf. Andrea, Johnny, watchlist, what's up? How are you? Hope things are going well. Just a quick overview so that everybody can look at theirs, get a little snapshot. We had some Terry, if you're interested in the program, let me know. I can get you 10% off. It's kind of, I mean, it's for what you get, it's fair valued, but it's still, you got to come out of your pocket with some money. So it was Tesla, SPY, oh, Foot Locker. Yes, is Foot Locker FL? I believe Foot Locker is FL. Lockheed Martin, are we at a war or something? Coin. I looked at Coin all day yesterday. I wanted to trade it so hard, but I didn't. It did backfill its gap though. feel like I'm missing something. I think that's Foot Locker. Let me just yeah, there's Foot Locker. Ooh. Dead cat. Bouncy, bouncy, bounce. Point of control at 29.39 VWAP at 31.42 or previous highs. If it breaks previous highs, 200-day retest at 36.50. Tesla. All right, so what's going on with the Tesseract? I mean, this was a great move up yesterday, right? Nice move up, pulled back, kind of forming that big finger, right? The big old how are you doing finger, right? Definitely bearish divergent. We've got the flow index is bearish, right? It's making it's selling, right, at a lot of positions. We did break our trendline support that was happening here, so now looks like the flow index is selling out of positions. Looks like Tesla's doing it's really struggling to hold its trendline support. Tesla's currently trading at I'm starting to really dig this chart here. Okay, I see you, Tesla. 4-hour top rejection. We got 4-hour mid at 822 daily bottom, weekly bottom cloud at 803. 4-hour bottoms all the way down at 775. So if we play 4-hour mid rejection back down to the daily bottom, or daily mid rejection, 4-hour cloud rejection, we have a move back down to 822, and then let's call it 803. Flow index will support that move and that it's selling off. Okay. Tesla does what Tesla wants to do. It's got a dark pull level at 855, 844, and then 815 is a regular block. There's a gap from 815 to 808. Kick drum, makes girlies get dumb. You got to respect this trend line though. So if we break 845, we come back down. I said, what did I say? 803. We have dark pool clusters from 795, 797, 798. Right? There's your magnet base. Okay. Dun dun dun. All right. Live Squawk just posted. Chair Powell said, we expect rate hike in March will be appropriate. We will begin to reduce balance sheet after process of raising interest rates has begun. Well, there it is, folks. This is a finger pattern. It's just giving you the big FU. All right, so yeah, I like Tesla to the downside, especially if it cracks like some of these tools here, right? I can't remember what that is, but this is previous day VWAP, right? It's being held. MACD cross down, slow stochastic pulling back, right? I mean, it's kind of bearish, but $50 to $57 ATR. If it cannot, like, if it cracks 850, if you want to play safe, Tesla below 850, 765 or 780. Okay. I like that. Tesla can hit 800, 780. 780, 800 puts. It's got to get above this 4-hour top, so 885. 88750 is a key level with Tesla. It's always been one. Above that, 950. Above 887.50. Look for daily top mag. Below 856, 860. Okay. All right, that was Tesla. Next up on our list is Foot Locker. So what's going on with Foot Locker? We've got a massive amount of regular and dark pools. We have a dark pool base at 2872. Regular block trade support that ranges 2817 to 2846. Currently resting at 28.9 as a regular block base. If this is an H-shaped pattern, because look at what the flow index is doing up here. Flow index is making the H shape. It's not making a W. Okay, H-shaped patterns usually if we below 2872. So this is monthly bottom, right? 2850. Below 2850, you're gonna get a quick flush to 2650. Below that, it's ugly. Currently, the flow index was pulling price action up out of the gutter, right? Pulled it up. They're buying into it pretty extensively. Higher lows, higher highs. If the flow index breaks this little trend line that it's created for itself, oh my gosh, are you serious right now? Batman's out. Batman's out tonight. I'll go see it tomorrow. Okay. Whoop-de-whoop, Batman. All right, sorry. The flow index, right, is trading with price currently curved down. I don't like this position. If flow index breaks a lower low, I think it can pull a Foot Locker lower, right? So Lockheed Martin. I mean, this is a wartime stock. It's just gapping up across the board. Another gap up today. Ooh, so we broke some key support levels. We were definitely trifecta moded, right? We are pulling back a little bit on that. So if we backfill to 440, which would be 4-hour top, monthly cloud top support, 435, 440, we can move back. We can continue to make a move higher. Contrarian, if we do break down below 433, we have a little bit of support at 427.50 before we move back down to 420. Possible bounce off of 417 for a move back up. But that's a pretty decent move down. MACD has been negative, right? So if we have a decreasing MACD, increasing price, isn't that divergence? Isn't that MACD divergence? I swear it's something like that. Our slow stochastic is dragging price down with it. Like, I think we do get 440 tested open. Okay, Lockheed Martin. The flow index is just vertical. Like, this is tons of money is flowing into this position. We made a high, we made a higher low. We had a little bit of a bear flag breakout, back testing to support. We broke over previous resistance, and the flow index is pretty much straight up, right? Haven't seen a straight up flow index for a long time. Let's look at dark pool, just trading right with it, as you can see, every step of the way. Regular block trade, regular dark pool, consolidation, dark pool launch, dark pool. So if I had put in a bunch of dark pool orders at 422.57, right, or even a bunch of buy orders at 428.58 on the pullback, and then we launched to 450, I'd definitely be trying to take some profit, right? And then both, right? So as long as the flow index continues to move, like, we have an opportunity. However, looks like price is starting to fall back down. We've got a bunch of gaps to fill. Okay. All right, Nvidia. Next up on our list is Coinbase. I was watching Coinbase all day yesterday. I was really interested in trading it. I like the cycle it's making. Okay, you can see that it is making higher highs and higher lows. So there is a trend here, right? So we big O gap up, pull back, chop, chop, gap up, pull back, chop, chop, gap up, pull back, chop, chop, gap up, pull back, chop, chop. Dark pool level at 195.83. Regular at 172.50. Okay. I'm looking for the flow index to find some support and make a move back up. However, a couple of things that are sketching me out a little bit. Love the bat ears over here. Death. Big old middle finger. Ugh. It's recovered from that, right? It's making another big old middle finger here. Does it recover from that? Let's look to our trend line for support, right? Pretty significant steep trend line. Got one there. We got a new one here. You get my picture, right? I wish it was prettier. It's really hard to read. So VWAP squeeze, this is one of my favorite squeezes. Weekly cloud bottom, 4-hour top, being squeezed in between those two. MACD is neutral, looking for a cross around and over. Daily mid is at 193.72. Looks like we have not quite sure what this purple line is. I'll have to research a little bit. 191. So it looks like 190 is the key point. Below 190, we get a flush down to 184. Well, let's just call it 185. And then we can trade all the way back down to previous day VWAP support at 175. That weekly cloud trade would be fun, right? We did reject the 4-hour top, so typically we'd like to see 4-hour mid at 182, right? That would be a pretty fun move to the downside. If we take out the daily mid, there may be a daily bottom incoming. So that daily bottom, I don't know if we get that far down. Look maybe for daily mid support to hold. Got to get up through the 4-hour cloud, so above 200, 205. Remove to 215. What is this? Yeah, I got to research this tool a little bit better. So we'd look for the slow stochastic bounce again, right? So we pulled back right here, we bounced up, consolidation, pull back, bounce up, pull back, consolidation, up. So $15 ATR. Coinbase should move pretty juicy today. I'd like to catch the move up from 195 to 200 to 205. Okay, All right, last but not least, what do we got here? What's up, Ricky? How are you? You want to look at shop? I got you. 29 puts this week and 30 calls next week on Foot Locker. I like that. I feel you. Nice call. Nice trade. Okay. What's up, Michael? It's your mix a lot. All right, Shopify. If you watch the weekend, I've had a video on Shop for the last couple of days. The flow index is trade. I mean, price is trading with the flow index. The flow index has made a new low, so I anticipate 663 as support. Below that, we trade down to the bottom of previous support at 655. Right? We trade below 655. We trade down to 630. If we bounce off of this level here, right? 700 psychological level, then we trade up that move to 726. Has the divergence played out? So we're trading with price, right? With price, no divergence. So we have divergence that has occurred about here. So technically that divergence played out. Because this is the point of divergence here. So that's our point of divergence. Price came down, right? Flow index was, we're probably shorting this on the way down, right? As it starts coming up, they're still getting into their positions that they have here. Price comes up, almost makes it, right? Flow index starts buying into it. We have trading with price, trading with price, trading with price. I think that divergence has played out. However, we do have a nice little cup and handle forming on Shopify. Shop from a technical perspective is looking like Intel is glorious. Let me show you that in a minute. We are in the daily cloud, right? As long as we stay in this daily cloud, we're going to chop. So we have support at 666 for a move back up to 695 for a goal of 705. If we come back down and we break 667 or 662, we come back down and we test 640 and then 627. Stochastic is pulling back. MACD is neutral but kind of curling around a little bit. Maybe a little flush for a move and then another move. Okay, look at Intel. Look at this sucker on the 1 minute. Talk about divergence. Let's go, baby. Let's go, baby. I like how it shades the divergence because sometimes it's hard to see since this has no y-axis. If flow index is buying, we have divergence. I have to start remembering to look at the inverse divergence. It always trips me up. But if we look here, we do have divergence. Price action is heading in one direction. Flow index is heading in another direction. We have divergence right here. So this divergence has got to play out, right? This price has to come back. This little micro divergence played out. So some of these little smaller term divergences are already playing out. But Intel, look at that. Love to see this chart. Right? A lot of publicity last night. Had a lot of bullish divergence yesterday. What happens now? We've got regular blocks. They came in on the 28th, way back here. Probably been filled. I like it. I like Intel. Like I said, today would be a pretty decent day for Intel. Is that all I have? I was like, where's the rest of my stuff? Are we really that? No. All right. So up. Intel above 47.44 for a move to 47.66. Above that, we come up and test 50. Contrarian, if we break 47, we back test to 46.75 or 46.64, then we make a move to the downside, right? Back down here. It's consolidation. Consolidation is the name of the game. The safe move is Intel above 48, 48.50, move to 49.71. Okay. Okay. Watch your stochastic. Watch your MACD for crossover bounce. Okay. All right. I think that's it, man. That's it for the day. Have a great day. Stay safe. Stay green. Back on Foot Locker. Let me show you one thing real quick. I don't know if it's going to sway your decision or not, but we're in the day or the 4-hour bottom cloud. That's support, right? It's got some previous day VWAP it would have to get above. So, above 30.45, there's a magnet 32.72, 32.95. If we break the 4-hour cloud, then I would look at like selling out. But look at this MACD crossing over. Stochastic is rising. MACD is crossing over. You're below VWAP though, so if you want to get back above it, it gets kind of nice. I mean, you have to ask yourself: is the position? Has anything changed in the trade? I don't know when you got in it, but has anything changed, or is it still valid? Did we break trend line? Yes. Did we break support though? I would say no. Definitely going to look for it to react with flow index. I mean, it's just tough. Like it's 28.72. It's just a tough one because it's just flat right now, right? Flat all day yesterday. No real trading. Right? Up, up, up. So we can trade down to the 4-hour bottom. Weekly Keltner channel cloud. So this is a major area of support. Sorry, this is a monthly bottom cloud. So yeah, there's a lot of support there. So that's where this consolidation may be happening. If you have, when you say puts for this week, if you have puts for this week, I wish you the best, and I hope it falls to 0 for you. If you have calls for next week, all right, I gotta run. Have a great day. One last final check-in on DOS futures. Everything kind of fell down. Humpty Dumpty market, right? Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. For all the Fed's money and all the Fed spend, Humpty couldn't put back. The Fed couldn't put back Humpty's price action again. I don't know, something like that. All right, I gotta run. Have a great day. If you're interested in that psychology course, the website is credeperformance.com, CREDE performance.com. If you're interested and you want to take advantage of it, reach out to me. I can get you 10% off. Okay? Have a great day. Stay safe, stay green.